So welcome back to the Strategic Advisor Board. I'm Dr. Bruce Rippee, and these are tips on sleep, how important sleep is. We talked a little bit in the last video of how important it is. There's no way to discuss, though. Let me give you some numbers. I run into this all the time. If I were to tell you how often someone comes to me and talks to me about, I'm not sleeping well, I'm not eating well, I'm not thinking well, I'm not moving well. All of those things seem to be part of old age only if we let it be. Certainly into late middle age, we can stop some of that and certainly slow it down. And sleep is a big one of those. It's an unbelievably important performance enhancing therapy. It really is. You will think better, you'll move better. All of those things are better, certainly decreases pain. So what are some tips and tricks you can do? Number one is go to bed at the same time every day within about a half-hour window. Don't make it a stressful event, but tell yourself, I go to bed at 10. I just do. That's when I go to bed. That early to bed, early to rise really does help. It's very, very important. You'll sleep a lot better if your body is just trained. I go to bed now. You'll go to sleep then. Otherwise, you'll be up thinking about whatever it is that we have to solve the next day. And you serve a lot of people. All of you who are executives, I get it. I've been there. I've done that. I understand it. You are serving an enormous amount of people, everybody that works for you, your staff, your employees, and certainly your colleagues. So it can honestly churn in your head a long time. And the only way you can do it is, okay, I'm going to train myself. I go to bed at 10. That's when I'm going to do that. That way, if you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, you know, wow, I've done really well. If you wake up at 5 or 5:30, you're still okay, right? The problem is when we go to bed at midnight or 1 and we wake up at 5:30 or 6, we're really not okay. Here's some proof of that. There's one day, all this medical data, there's been an experiment run on 2 billion people for the last however many years, since 1918, really, here in the United States. Canada did it in 1908, Germany 1916. It's called daylight savings time, right? The whole goal was we want to kick the clock an hour forward so that it's not daylight at 4:15, 4:30 in the morning in June, okay? It's daylight at 5 something, right? And then it stays light until about 10 p.m. That's kind of how that worked. And they did it on purpose, and they've done it off and on, but mostly on daylight savings time, normal time. They've done that for quite a while. It was an attempt, I'm sure, to do something. The social experiment that it has become, though, has turned into science. Now we have EMR, electronic medical records, and health records, right? We have all of these things. And because we do, we can tell you that every single day, how many people are born, how many people die, how many people get, unfortunately, diagnosed with cancer or Alzheimer's, dementia, or whatever. Cardiovascular accidents, there's one day that is 24% higher than any other day. And that's the day we start daylight savings time. Conversely, there's one day that is 21% less likely to have a cardiovascular accident than all of the other days. And that's the day we go back to normal time. So literally, when we spring forward, we cause problems with our heart. When we fall back, we actually help with our heart. That's very important. So one tip, go to bed the same time every single night within a half an hour. That way, if you spring forward or fall back, you go to bed at 9:30. Or you go to bed at 10:30, but you're within that half hour. You've just kind of hit that dead on, and you're very careful. Most of the time, I just want to protect you, and this is a great way to do that. The other one is don't be on your phone. Whatever it is, don't be on your phone. It's not that important. It doesn't need to be done. Today's work has been done. You are finished. Move on to tomorrow's work tomorrow. And I'm just going to tell you, that's a really hard one for me because I worked all the time. It was just the way that I did it. It was successful, I will have to admit, but there's also that part of me that had to regain some health because of it. So here it is. Put the phone away an hour or two before you go to bed. It really is the best thing you can do. Reading really does help. It stimulates something quite different. Listening to podcasts or a book on Audible, that's another great way to heal your brain while you go into sleep. I've got some more tips coming. Obviously, if you want to get in touch with me, you'll have my email at the end of this, and I'll be happy to help you. Just send me questions. If you want me to look into or develop a conversation around a topic that you're interested in, please definitely send that to me as well. I will speak on sleep, think, eat, and move in any fashion you want me to.